to have you here. Nice to be here. I asked before this session a couple of you to send photos of your teams, but I'm pretty sure I didn't tell that I will put them to my presentation. So let's check at the first. Which one is your team? That one or that one? Show me with your hand. Which one of these teams is yours? Show me with your hand. Just wave this way or that way. Okay, in the middle, is there something? Okay, so pretty many Untangle teams, and this is the official explanation of the word Untangle. It's from my friend, as you see. So lots of things happen. People are difficult animals. Like we all know, challenging might be the better word. They are doing unexpected things, they are behaving unexpected ways. So how to manage that? That's the question we are going to discuss the next, 20-ish minutes. Manage the complexity of the team. So if something happens to my presentation, or if someone is in urge to get some lunch, I will give you the points of this session in the beginning. Is that good? Like, this is what you will get out of this summary of whole thing. Read it through, and then we are pretty much done. Right? Clear? Any questions? No? The picture? Photo? No. The theory? Let's dig a little bit deeper. Right. What I try to do now is to give you this in next 20 minutes. Let's see if it can happen. So there are thousands of different things you might do to help your team, to help your organization, right? Unlimited amount of different strings to pull, I like to say. But how to choose the right one and how to do it systematically, that's the profession of Scrum Masters and coaches after all, isn't it? So how to make it happen? At first we need some hard theory, so let's take a couple of those. Human behavior is not only based on who they are, who we are, but also the environment where we are. This makes sense, right? Another thing is that what takes less energy from us is more likely to happen. Like we, all of us, are more likely to behave the way that takes less energy from us. This is also understandable. It's just like Dave's funny words, put there like virtues and sins and everything, but it makes sense. If we want to make people behave certain way, like behaving as a team, then perhaps we need to create an environment where they start to behave like a team, instead of trying to force them self-organize. That's not the way how it works, right? So based on these two things, we need to get to understand what actually decreases energy cost so that we could make people to behave certain way. Have a short discussion with the person next to you. What kind of topics come to your mind? Like what makes it easier for a person to behave certain way? Hopefully good way, right? 1 minute. What comes to your mind? I don't know how many of you discussed about this, but I have the right answer here now. So, at least good tools might help us to figure out better ways of working. Bad tools may do exactly opposite. And other stuff also. You can read them from the slides afterwards. So, this is our purpose. Finding things that make people behaving better. Imagine a team that is in super difficult situation. One team member just left in the middle of the most urgent phase of the project. And they are separated in different time zones. They have several cultural backgrounds. Not all are native speakers of the common language. They have very different backgrounds, experiences. They can't agree on ways of working, and the company puts a pressure, and client puts a pressure on the team, and many other teams. Actually, a couple of them are belonging to multiple teams. Can you imagine what kind of stupidity is that? What could make them better? How could we help them to improve? There's not a certain single way of doing that. So let's try to explore that. I'm using the S-train mapping, if you know the framework by Dave Snowden as a background, but I'm trying to translate that to English because Dave uses such words that don't mean anything to normal human beings. So I tried to translate it. The first thing, instead of imagining this ideal team, they are all happy and they are co-located and they are from the same family and whatever, it's not the way. But understanding where we are and why we are there, why these problems came to life in the first place. That's the thing how we should continue and see what potential, what can we change in that environment. Remember, environment is our only way to affect people's behavior. So what kind of stuff could we describe to understand the present? The simplest question to answer is that what can we actually manage? There's lots of stuff in following slides. I will quickly run through them, but the basic question is that what we really can manage. You can't imagine managing a team. Like I say, like to self-organize, correct these problems, outsource everything that can be outsourced, blah, blah, blah. It's not the way, but this is the thing. Like, we can structure people differently, perhaps we can build some help to support them communicating with each other. We can manage information flow, who sees what and how, etc. So more concretely, who are actually involved in this thing? Who are belonging to the team and near the team, who affect this? It's not only persons, it can be teams and organizational structures, parts, leadership team kind of stuff, or client. And the most importantly, where do people think they belong to? That's the first question. Couple of examples. We have Jen, and she's a product owner, quite simple. And other things. Just as examples, what we are talking about. So let's write all this to Post-its, to Miro board, of course, that's official version. And we have gathered a picture of who actually are involved. Not only the team we want to help, but other people who somehow affect team's behavior. Who is the manager, bad boss, and a good whatever. Okay, you got it. Next thing is to list what they belong to and what connects them to each other. So how do they actually currently, remember, we are trying to describe the present, how are they currently communicating, why they are doing that, why are they not communicating the way we would like them to communicate, etc. And then we can establish some improvements perhaps. This kind of stuff. Now I'm saying. Okay, these are like people might be your team member, but they are actually having families, they are having other people around them in the world, like not only your team, can you imagine? Some people have life, and that affects how they behave. They have to leave earlier to get their kids from the kindergarten, for example. That affects the teamwork. They can't be so flexible with your meetings over several time zones. There might be cultural backgrounds that affect it. Okay, they are part of this team that might also affect their behavior because some of the agreements and how they are doing things come from the team. They wouldn't do these things without belonging to that team, etc. We have different tools, we have different relationships, we identify as certain people here. We are belonging to different professional groups, etc. These all are part of the present, right? Understanding where we are now and how come we have ended up to be in the problem we are now. Or in the charts. That's the more recommended word. So first one, who we were, where do we belong to, what connects us. And then the third one, and the last one here, is what kind of processes, rituals, habits, other stuff that belong to being here, working here, do people go through, even in certain situations or regularly, like every week, and everyone says daily scrum, yeah. These things happen and they affect also how we behave because we leave something from our communication to certain regular occasions, and then it's not obvious to someone looking outside of the team why didn't you say something or why did you do something. We have certain onboarding processes and retros and how do we select who people come to each of the projects, etc. Multiple examples. Company Christmas party. Everyone is looking forward. This is what we are not looking forward, right? We might have official trainings and we have several different, this category of present means things that practically are repeatable. We have expected end results of them and then we can systematically put certain tools and skills and experience, common experiences to people that affects their behavior afterwards, right? Okay. More and more. There are lots of them. After listing these three things, we can go further, but we will be very brief on this. Like all kinds of stuff. Dave offers a typology for this, just to offer us different perspectives of what kind of stuff can help us to understand the present. You can go deeper by asking Google. Yeah. But as a result of the first part is that we have listed all the things that come to our mind that somehow explain the current situation. And what we do next, jump to the part 2, right? We will map them based on how much does it require from us to change something in that picture. So we have mapped the current situation and the reasoning behind it, and the next thing is that we think how much energy and how much time would it take from us to change something, do something to the things there. And look at the animation. Wow. They magically are put to this place. And this is collaboration of the team, of the people around this. Or you can do it secretly in your room, like being a Scrum Master, trying to understand what happens there. Somehow you agree on where this thing belongs to. And if you don't, then you can split that and go deeper, understanding that this doesn't, this is too high level. It has different things that belong to different places of the map. So then you split it until you agree on. And after that, you map, like reading a map, then you can figure out what kind of areas do we have here. The right top corner certainly belongs to the thing that you have nothing to do there. It's too expensive effort-wise or otherwise, or takes too long to change anything there. So that's the place we don't want to put our effort changing. Then there might be something else that it's not in our hands. We need permission, or we need a budget. We need to ask someone else to help us there. And the other opposite here is the things that are constantly changing even without our effort. And like people leaving from our team, they don't ask if they have a better offer from somewhere else and they want to leave because of the frustrating situation. You have to be careful, you have to monitor, you have to be awake for weak signals that might tell that you have to do something to these things. And, here in the middle is your actionable area of things that you actually can do something about. It's not too tough, it's not too hectic, it's the thing you would work on as a Scrum Master or coach or whoever. An optional thing is here that you might want to mark something that has the most impact on your current situation, current problem, and that might help you to then select the things you want to continue with. Okay? That was a part 2. At first we collected all kinds of stuff and then we put them to the map, analyzed it a little bit, and now we are ready to decide what to do. So there are different types of actions we can do to those elements in the map. But those elements cause that what happens, what you are observing. So changing something there changes people's behavior, changes the team, and your purpose is to change this a such way that it improves the things, right? You can do the opposite as well, but that's not the purpose of this thing. So lots of different things. I give you examples. Let's get back to respecting daily scrums. So then we get some synchronization. We get a regular sync between the team members. Clarifying roles, forbidding blah blah blah. Lots of stuff we can do. You can see that these are different types of things that can be applied to different elements in the map. So that is our action planning. And now we have lots of things, couple of things about those. It's usually better to start small than to start big. Like, if you have a big problem, you might be tended to have a big solution. But that's not how the world works. Like, our tendency would be something like this. Let's force people to move to the same place and co-locate them, and you all use Scrum, and now they are happy and live forever. That's not how it works, right? So instead of that kind of approach, you should figure out what small things we can do to push the team to the right direction until the big problem is not a big anymore. And that's the way how big problems should be solved in complex environments. So smaller and perhaps multiple smaller experiments rather than the one big. And the last actual thing here is that timing matters. Not everything is good idea all the times. In complexity, and team is a complex adaptive system, they have something called dispositionality plan. It's a Dave language, you know. I have tried to put it to English here. So they have a tendency of more likelihood to do something instead of something else. And we have to keep that in mind. So we are trying to only push forward and put energy to the things that have some kind of good time to try just now. For example, from these all action points, we could select a couple of those. Because now it's not a good time. They just did something last week, so we are not changing that now because it's not a good time to do something to that exact thing just now. But if you keep that in our mind, then we are doing right things at the right time. And that's exactly how complexity should be managed. Like sensing the flow, what is more probable to happen and what is not. That was it, basically. The bonus thing is that you can then do something, but read this later. That's not the thing now. But you can do, there is more. That's what I have said. And we can discuss about this in an open space session if you all are coming there, because it's only one corner here. Yeah. That was about it. My name is Teemu. This is my LinkedIn link, so everyone who wants to ask questions or throw me comments about the session or the topics, just do it by sending me a LinkedIn message. That's the best way. I will write down that, because now we don't have time for this. So we will then, I will collect the questions and try to answer somehow and publish something to LinkedIn. So that's perhaps the best way to stay in contact. And my background, I am a certified Scrum trainer for 5 years, coach for 11 years. Before that, worked as a software developer and a business manager. And now I'm working for a company, Reactor, that has about 700 employees across 3 continents. We have 9 offices in different countries. So that's me. And the summary here and the feedback form. Please give me some ideas how useful this was to you. And let's get back in contact in LinkedIn afterwards. Thanks for participating. I've used my time. So that was it.